Trail runners, welcome back to Chasing Gold. We're talking to some of the top runners leading into this year's Javelina 100. They are chasing golden tickets to the Western States Endurance Run. Today's guest, we have Brett Hornig. He is coach and owner of Trails and Tarmac from Ashland, Oregon. He's 32 years old. He ran his first ultra back in 2014 at the TNF San Fran 50K, where he placed second in 4:03. We're excited to have him on. Brett, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Jamel. You guys really went pretty far back with the results. 2014.
Yeah, we're trying to really get the whole body of work here. So, taking a look back here, you have been to Javelina last year. You placed fourth in 13:45. Impressive performance. And you also have two past Western States finishes, once in 2022 and once back in 2018. How did those past Western States go for you?
They were both pretty good sized learning experiences. The 2018 Western States was my first ever 100. And so many things went wrong. I learned a ton, thought I fixed a bunch, went into it 2022, improved, but I still don't think I improved at the rate that I thought I could have. So I would love to get back there and, give Western States another try, because I think there's definitely still a lot more room there.
How did Javelina go for you last year? Obviously, fourth place, great performance, a little bit outside that ticket spot, but you must have had a great race.
Yeah, it was honestly like the picture perfect day. I would say it's probably the best trail race or ultra I've ever had. I think I took a lot more risk in my training as well as on race day leading up to the race. And that was definitely the goal going into it. There's a lot of pressure at, a race like Western States to just make it to the start line healthy and then finish. Whereas for Javelina, the main goal was to really see how far I could push myself, even in just the training, and it paid off huge. And I learned a lot about myself in terms of what I'm actually capable of doing and, how I can race things a little bit differently. So yeah, that's kind of what's kind of drawing me to come back again this year, see if I can do it again.
That's awesome. I want to take a step back or go a little bit wider. You've been at a lot of golden ticket races over the last, looks like 7 years. We're talking the 2016 Lake Sonoma 50, where you were 12th, the Sean O'Brien 100K, where you were 5th in 2017, 2018 Bandera, 2019 Bandera, 2019 Lake Sonoma. So, and then Canyons in 2021. So I'm kind of curious to hear about you and just the whole golden ticket ecosystem. What excites you about that? What keeps you coming back? I don't know if you were trying for tickets all those years, but you certainly have been out there to see these.
Yeah, it wasn't ever even necessarily chasing golden tickets. It was almost more that I love competition. I love racing people. I like seeing, where I can stack up against my peers. And the Golden Ticket Series has always been, a very reliable set of races where you're going to get all of those things. So that's why I've done so many Golden Ticket races, is ultimately just because I love racing and I really like the competition and racing against other people. I feel like those are the races where you can really learn a lot. And I think some have definitely been better than others, but, ultimately it's just been the competition, because I think there's definitely other courses out there that are perhaps more inspiring than some of the golden ticket races. But, something about racing against other people has always been what's been a huge motivator for me.
So looking back this year, you were 7th at the Tusher 70K, 3rd at Silver State 50 miler, and I'm going to throw in there 2nd at Tar and Trail. Don't forget about that one. Don't sleep on Tar and Trail. But seriously, how has your training been going this year leading into Javelina 100?
It's been really good. It's, well, I didn't really know I was going to run the 100 mile until just a few weeks ago, I guess. I didn't think my training would ever turn around and get to a place where it was last year before Javelina, but my 2023 as a whole has been way more consistent without any injury setbacks or significant amounts of time off. So while my biggest peak weeks, the last few weeks haven't been nearly as big for this year's Javelina, I would say my overall year of running has led me to be a lot stronger, and I do think that I actually am fitter than last year. So it'll be really interesting to see how that all pays off in a couple weeks.
Being a coach yourself, are you self-coached or do you bounce things off of someone else?
Well, both. I am self-coached, but I am absolutely not afraid to bounce ideas off of people and, have some of the other trails and tarmac coaches like overlook some of my weeks and see if there's anything that I'm missing, or if there's any workouts or long runs that they're like, yeah, Brett, this is totally stupid. You shouldn't do that. It's like, I'm going to listen to them. So it's very much a collaborative process. But I don't have like one coach that is overseeing all of my training.
Returning as a Javelina 100 finisher this year, what is your race strategy going into a golden ticket race like Javelina?
I don't think I'm really going to change too much from last year because, last year went really well. The main goals for last year were not so much to focus on golden tickets or even the places of the other people, but just more to break down the race into a bunch of manageable bite-sized chunks and see how well I can execute each of those chunks to the best of my ability. And I knew that if I just broke it down one little piece at a time, that the end result could be great, and there's always definitely a bit of luck that comes into 100 mile, but for this year, it's very much going to be just work on executing all the pieces of the race that I know I'm in control of. I'm not going to worry about the things I can't control. And I think if I do all those things, I can improve upon last year. If that means a golden ticket, that's awesome. If it doesn't, but I still improve upon last year, I'm still going to be happy because I can't control how fast the other people run.
Nice. Do you have any specific gear that you'll be bringing out to the desert specific to this race compared to other races?
I guess the biggest thing is just going to be the apparel and my very special ice bandana for proper cooling protocol. This ice bandana it's one of a kind. It's handmade, and I think it's finished like 9 or 10 100 milers amongst myself and some of my other friends who have used it. Most recently, Leah Yingling wore it to a top 10 Western States finish. So it's definitely got some pretty good 100-mile juju in the heat. So that's perhaps one of the more important pieces of gear.
Wow, that is very interesting. I haven't quite heard of that before. Does this bandana have its own social media accounts, or how can we follow this bandana?
That's a good point. I haven't thought about that. Just as of right now, it's just been kind of like this underground, good vibes ice bandana. This ice bandana has also completed the Grand Slam.
What? This is incredible. Well, we'll be looking forward to seeing it out there. I guess with that being said, we're going to move on to our 10-question fartlek round. Brett, are you ready?
All right. I haven't done much interval training this training block, but I'm ready to give it a go.
Perfect. First off, what sneakers will you be wearing at the Javelina 100?
A Nike Ultrafly.
All right. Will you be listening to music or podcasts during the race?
Nope. I like just hearing the sounds around me.
At what age did you stop trick-or-treating?
To be determined.
Are you adding any touches to your gear that are going to be Halloween themed, or are you wearing a costume?
I'm still working on it. I gotta figure out. We gotta think about like aerodynamics and such. So, gotta be careful with those sorts of things.
Will candy be part of your nutrition plan?
I hope so. I mean, those are all good sugars. Those are good for race fuel.
What is your pre-race snack morning of?
Usually a bagel with some butter, coffee, ketones.
Just like all the major food groups.
Yep.
If you could choose a walkout song for Javelina, what would it be?
Oh man. Let's go Till I Collapse by Eminem.
Perfect. Have you ever hallucinated during an endurance event?
My very first 100 at Western States, I kept thinking that there was like little gremlins on the ground, like looking over at me, but they just kept being little stumps. And yeah, they were freaking me out a little bit, but they were very interesting to try and pass.
Nice. If you could recommend any running related item to a new runner, what would it be?
Ooh. Okay. Go to your local specialty run shop and get properly fitted for a pair of shoes.
Nice. Last question. What place are you finishing at the 2023 Javelina 100?
Ooh, man. I mean, I would love to finish first. Like, I'm not afraid to say that.
Love it. Awesome, Brett. Thank you so much. Best of luck in the last few days of your taper. Safe travels to Arizona, and we'll see you next weekend.
Thanks, Jamil. We'll see you there.